I'm Neil Roseanne, and welcome to Sports According to Neil. This week, I'm breaking down a whole lot of games, so get ready.
College football has their conference championships this week. I take a look at a lot of teams that are bidding for BCS Bowl contentions. I give you who I think is going to win those games and who's going to be represented in the big bowls come January. Also, I have a few bonus college football topics for you this week, all on Sports According to Neil.
Hello sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports According to Neil. I'm of course Neil Roseanne, and on the docket for this week is college football. Now I've been talking about it a lot this year, but it's been a really good year for college football. And without further ado, let's get to this week's conference title matchups, which is really crucial for a lot of the top BCS teams to get a win this week so they can get into that elusive national championship. LSU, Oklahoma State, I'm talking to you. Better not lose, or in better words, you should lose so we can have total and utter chaos and hopefully not have a BCS that's filled with just SEC teams. I can't stand it. But what can I say? Who knows? But first, we're going to get a little bit off the radar here and start with Ohio versus Northern Illinois, the MAC championship. And it'll be pretty interesting, is all I can say at least. The MAC has been hit or miss this year. Either it's 63-60, or it's just these games that don't even resemble football. But this one looks good. I've been able to observe both of these teams here at Central, including Ohio up in the press box, and let me tell you, they both look really impressive. Northern Illinois was able to put up 63 on Toledo, and I don't see any reason that would stop. But Ohio has a great quarterback in Tettleton who will be able to really spread that Northern Illinois defense around the field. But I see Northern Illinois in about a 35-28 win. Next up is the inaugural Pac-12 championship, which would usually be between USC and number 9 Oregon. But remember, USC has a suspension that they're serving, so they can't be in any postseason play. UCLA, on the other hand, is eligible, and after this game, they're going to wish that they weren't. Oregon has all the wheels churning. Little Michael James and all of his friends, Kenyon Barner and all of them, they are going to be able to just stomp UCLA. But the thing is that they're at home, so it's going to be a really big advantage for the Ducks, and UCLA just isn't a great team. I have to say, I feel the Ducks winning at about 56-7 in this one. Blowout, Ducks win. Then, this Saturday, December 3rd, we have a game that we usually wouldn't be talking about, but it has top 25 implications, in which 24 Southern Miss is at number 6 Houston. Wait, number 6 Houston? Whoa, that's all I can say. Undefeated, and Case Keenum is having an enormous year. There was one game where I threw for 9 touchdowns. Can you believe that? I almost couldn't. But it is Southern Miss, and they have been a really good team this year. So I see Case Keenum getting really challenged in this game, but I still see him exploding for about 4 or maybe 5 touchdowns, throwing a little bit of running touchdowns in there, and ooh, the Cougars have a huge win. I see them winning about at the tune of 57, or I should say 56 to about 28. It'll be a pretty good game. Next one is not a conference championship game, but we'll decide a conference champion. UNLV at number 18 TCU. TCU has had an up and down year. Big win when they beat Boise State. And, well, I don't see much stopping them. They've been playing really good up there, and I see them winning about 35-0 in that game. The next one is a Big 12 buster here, you could say, in number 22 Texas versus number 17, the darling of the top 25, Baylor. Robert Griffin III has really been throwing it good for Baylor, and Texas, well, Colt McCoy's brother's doing really good. but it's going to be a really intense battle. It's a really good game. I guess if there's a game that you are not doing anything at about 3:30, you should definitely watch this one. Be very explosive offenses. It's going to be whoever can outshoot the other one, and I see Baylor winning that game. I'd say 35-24. The next one is the big one of the day. It's number 14 Georgia versus number 1 LSU. LSU really needs to win this game if they want to stay in the BCS championship hunt. If they lose by a lot, they will really be out of it. I feel it'll be an Alabama-Oklahoma State final. But as the past shows, LSU's been really hard to beat. And Les Miles, really good in SEC play. I don't see him losing this game. Georgia will give them a little bit of a scare with the hometown crowd early, but LSU, who held Alabama to 6 points, their defense turns it on, their offense gets enough points to win. I see them winning 17-10 in a good old-fashioned football game. Another one in the another big one in the Big 12 is number 10 Oklahoma at number 3 Oklahoma State. It's the Bedlam game, and trust me, Oklahoma State just doesn't want to lose this game. They lose this game, maybe their BCS chances go out the window, millions of dollars, and even the national championship bid could go out the window. Now, Oklahoma would rather, knock them off and get that BCS berth, but I don't know. It's going to be tough. Oklahoma State showed a lot of problems when they took on the Iowa State team. And Oklahoma's been having its up and downs this year, but still being ranked at 10. You got to look at Landry Jones and hope that maybe he could have a good last Bedlam game, and maybe put a scare in him. But I see Oklahoma State winning very close. I see it maybe coming down to a field goal, being like something to the tune of 21-24. Oklahoma State winning the Bedlam game, and hopefully going on to the national championship game, so we don't have an all-SEC championship game. Another big game is in the ACC, where the championship game, where number 5 Virginia Tech versus number 20 Clemson. All I have to say, number 5 Virginia Tech, extremely overrated. Their offense can hang with the best of them. That defense could not stand up to me. Trust me, terrible defense. Clemson might be able to really exploit that, really get the play in there, but the offense of Virginia Tech, to me, really overpowers that Tiger defense. And I see a Virginia Tech win 28-10. It'll be a good game, but, it's the ACC. Give me a break. They'll get beat in the bowl game. Then, the last game of the night, the inaugural Big Ten Championship, which I cannot be more excited for. It's number 15 Wisconsin versus number 13 Michigan State. Last time these two met, a final second play decided the whole thing on a lucky tip. Trust me, Wisconsin is 2 Hail Marys away from being in the national championship game. They are just that unfortunate, and I really think that they're going to get back at Michigan State with this game. It's on a neutral field, and Kirk Cousins will not be able to handle the pressure that the Badgers will be bringing. He's not at home, so he won't have the comfort of the crowd, and I really see Wisconsin winning 35-17, a really good beatdown, and Wisconsin goes to the Rose Bowl, hopefully to take on Oregon, which, trust me, that'll be an interesting game. And that pretty much wraps up the conference championship games. So, with that, I hope you have a lot of fun watching this weekend. There's a lot of great games. And take advantage of all the great games, because this is almost the end of the year. After this, we have bowl games, which I know are great, but this is your last chance to see that conference battle, and then we're going to have to put it away for a year. So hopefully you're able to watch all these games, or most of them, and enjoy them with me. So, the BCS bowl games are only about a month away. And as right now, it's really hard to tell who's going to be in what. There's a lot that needs to shake out. But before then, it's always good to speculate, and I have a list here of what I think is going to be happening on January 1st. First, we have the Rose Bowl, which I think is pretty much, out of all of them, the easiest to predict. Well, maybe besides the national championship. But the Rose Bowl is going to be Oregon versus Wisconsin. Now, Oregon's going to win the Pac-12, we assume, but they should. And Wisconsin will be the winners of the Big Ten championship game, as I said earlier, and trust me, this will be a good game. just a little early insight, Oregon might be a little bit too fast for Wisconsin, but we'll save that for another day. The Sugar Bowl will make all of you happy, as I have Michigan versus Houston. And Michigan, showing a lot of composure this year, went 10-2 under first-year coach Brady Hoke. The other one, the other team, Houston, is also phenomenal. And all I can say is that this game is going to be explosive. There will be touchdowns everywhere. Offense versus offense. It's not going to be defense. Defense doesn't win championships in this point. And that one's going to be really good. Maybe my favorite BCS Bowl of the entire time. The next one will be the Orange Bowl, Virginia Tech versus West Virginia. Now, Virginia Tech winning the ACC, West Virginia winning the very weak Big East. You could just say that this is the battle of the weakest, or the Virginia Bowl. And, it'll be okay. It'll probably be the worst of all the BCS Bowls. You'll have to say these are the teams that everyone else wouldn't choose. And, well, it'll be good football, but not good enough to deserve any of your attention over the rest of these. The next one is the Fiesta Bowl, where I think Oklahoma State will be taking on Stanford. Yes, I know, I don't want an SEC National Championship, but there's no way that Oklahoma State outperforms LSU or Alabama in the final week to get put there. They're just going to have to deal with it, and Whedon will just have to see how good he can do against that Stanford defense. Stanford, with Andrew Luck, not quite what he envisioned at the beginning of the year, coming back to win a national championship. He will be on the doorstep, but hopefully he'll win the Heisman, at least make this year quite worthwhile. And, of course, in the Natty, the national championship game, the BCS, the culmination of our entire college football year, is going to be what I dread, Alabama versus LSU. They're just arguably the two best teams. I know it's going to be a rematch. I know that the first game was 9-6, not the most appealing game, but I feel like now that they've had one chance to duke it out, the offenses are going to have it all set. But all this is just speculation. So hopefully it doesn't happen like this. Personally, I wouldn't want to see that Alabama-LSU game. But hey, if it does, it does. But with that, those are my BCS picks for now. We'll have to see after this weekend. And it's now time for my closing remarks. Now, two things that really caught my eye are, well, first, in Ohio State. Ohio State is right now going through an entire coach remodeling. Urban Meyer and Bob Stoops now look like to be both on the coaching list. And trust me, if you're the Big Ten, you gotta be getting scared. Ohio State just reloaded on another great national championship coach. And with the recruiting power he has, and in the widespread of talent Ohio State has pipeline states too, it's going to get pretty ugly pretty fast. And not in a good way for the rest of you. I just feel that Urban Meyer is the perfect fit for Ohio State, and he is going to really just turn the program around and hopefully, well, maybe not for you guys, but win a whole lot of Big Ten championships. Watch out, Michigan fans. That one win might be the last one you get. And my final remark is who is going to be angry coming around this bowl season. Now, this one's a little bit personal to me, but I know some fans are going to be very angry. And as you can see, here we go. I'm going to reveal it. But we have the Angry Bird. And why is the Angry Bird in this helmet? Because it's a Miami helmet. Miami fans, you're not going to get to a bowl this year. And I know that you got the swagger, you got everything, your team's pretty good, and I back your team, but just not good enough. They play in the ACC. That's you. Get out angry. This is Corey Harris. Oh, just sitting here. He just threw an interception. Oh, I shouldn't make fun of it. But anyway, once again, thanks for watching. This will be one of the last college football episodes, so go out and, like I said earlier, enjoy all the college football. Hopefully get to watch all the games. And as for that, I'm Neil Roseanne, and this is Sports According to Neil. Angry.
Go to sportsaccordingtoneil.blogspot.com for all your sports opinion needs, or follow me on Twitter at NeilAndSports. As always, thanks for watching. Angry.